I have a little bit of a different recipe other than Spam, and this is going to blow your socks off, I'm going to tell you right now. But before I begin, I want to make some comments about the last video. You guys are really brutal, absolutely brutal on the comments that you made. But I'm going to tell you something, I think I spent about 15 hours answering them all. It's an unbelievable amount of comments, and instead of just clicking the heart and you getting that in the email, I try to take time to answer each one individually. But hey, that's what it's all about. So let me explain something first. The last time that I was on, people said they heard cicadas in the background. You know, those bugs that come out, I think, every 7 years or something. And it's really not. I'm going to show you what it is. It's my bird clock. Okay? There's my bird clock up there. And every hour, and you're going to probably hear it now because we have 5 minutes to go. It's about 5 to 4 in the afternoon. And so at 4 o'clock, you're going to hear the birds in the background. So it's not a cicada. Okay? So let me go back here. What I'm going to do is explain some of the things I'm going to use in this before I begin. First of all, I'm going to use this is a 12-inch wok. Let me back it up a little bit so it doesn't out bright. This is a 12-inch wok, well seasoned, and I use this only for eggs. Eggs are usually done on a relatively low temperature. You don't cook it, so you don't need a lot of, you don't need a big handle here to keep your hands cool. So I just grab it right here. It never gets hot enough for where I burn myself, and you know that I love to burn myself, okay? Very well seasoned. I don't let anybody touch this except me. You know, a little paranoid, I guess. OCD, they say. Yeah, some of you guys made a comment that I've, several comments that you think I'm OCD. I don't know why you think that, you know. I mean, you know, even though I take all my chopsticks and I make sure everything's lined up absolutely correctly. Now, we'll go on to another subject here. All right, some of the things I'm going to use is my wok. By the way, that wok is really inexpensive. I'll put the link down below. I think it's under 30 bucks. I've got some woks that are in the hundreds of dollars, but this one just does as good. So this is about saving you money because things right now are really getting expensive. And I'm going to try to show you some different ways of making using the same ingredients, making food using the same ingredients that you used before, but with just a little different method and flavor to it. And the top of the pan, I'm going to use this wok special with a bamboo handle. It's stainless steel, and the reason I like it is it fits the curvature, enough for me at least. Okay, and we'll go over that a little bit later. Some of you, oh, by the way, some of you say, oh, why don't you use a flat bottom wok? I could. But I usually do this when I'm cooking it, and you'll see in a few minutes. And also a flat bottom, I don't know if I will get the same results. Maybe, but this is handy. And it's 12 inches. I don't need a 14-inch wok for this. All right, a couple of the other things I'm going to use is I'm going to use some cornstarch, which is right here. Garlic powder. This is white pepper. This happens to be from Penzeys, but, you know, out of the grocery store, if you get it, that's fine too. I'm going to use some sugar. Eggs, of course, and my secret ingredient, which is soy sauce. And on top of that, I have a fresh, this is the first time I cut it this year, chives. I got 2 big chive plants, so I cut that. And what I'm going to use is I'm going to use this new knife I got. I usually don't promote knives, but what I want to tell you a little bit about this is a vegetable knife. It's very thin on the back. And let me grab another knife and show you what I mean. Okay, this is a typical knife we all have. See how thick that is in here? The spine, I guess they call it. And then you take a look at this one. It's much thinner. It's great for vegetables. Okay, put that off to the side. In fact, I have a Japanese knife that was given to me by a friend of mine. This is like $400. He just gave it to me as a gift. It's not pretty. This is carbon steel, just like the pan. And the blade is so darn sharp, but you have to really handle this with care. You got to put a lot of oil on it so it doesn't rust. This is a bamboo handle. It's a beautifully weighted knife. But why am I going on about knives? I was watching Facebook the other day for some reason, and I don't usually watch it that much, but an ad came on there. Somebody was promoting a knife, a vegetable knife, very similar to this with the round edges in here, over there. And it was like $80 or $90, I think, by the time you get done with shipping. This is maybe $25, $28, somewhere in there. It's got a synthetic rubbery grip handle, which I really like. But when I grab it, I grab my knife like this when I'm cutting. Boom, boom, boom. So this will be the first time I use that knife. And so if I cut myself, I got Band-Aids right across on the other countertop, so in case I can stop the bleeding. Okay, I'll be right back. Let me put this in, well, what am I going to put it in? I'm going to put it in my tripod. Here's my tripod sitting up right here. A lot of times I have to angle it different ways, so. Oh, wow, yeah, one other thing I almost forgot. I went to a garage sale last year or so, and I bought these cups. It's like $5 or something, and they're different sizes. And I started using them, and I said, they're the handiest damn thing I've ever had. So I went back again a couple of weeks later, and they had another set. And so I bought that one too. And I use them, and I'm saying, where can I find these? Somebody else might be interested in them. So I did find a link on Amazon. I'll put it down below. They're really inexpensive, but they're just perfect. And I'll be using these today when I cook, okay? So actually I'm going to be using, where's my bird clock? I'll be quiet. And I'm gonna, that darn bird, I guess I have to feed him or something, but these I'm gonna put off the side. I really don't need them right now for this preparation. So let me put this on a tripod. I'll be right back. All right, let's see if I can do this without cutting myself. I'm just gonna cut the, see I'm holding the knife, grab it nice like that. It just fits perfectly. So I'm just gonna cut a few of these up, and I'm gonna put them in this. I'm gonna put them on top of my eggs when I get done. That's all I need. I don't need a whole bunch. Okay, I want to do it before I cut myself. So let me put these off to the side. I'm going to take all these now and I'm going to put them in this one here. I'll be using them in a little bit later. There we go. Oh, Gordon Ramsay, you better look out, baby. Here I'm on my way. Hell's Kitchen. Isn't that what they call it? All right, good enough. All right, let's start this. I've already taken some eggs. I put them right there. Let me double check the camera and make sure you guys can see that. Okay, we'll move it right about there. All right. So what I'm going to do is get some water here for a second. I'm going to take my cornstarch and take my little cup here, bowl, and I'm going to take just about this much right here. Just dump it right in there. That's done. The reason I use cornstarch, it helps keep the moisture in the eggs, and also it doesn't, they don't harden so easily. So we'll just put some water in there. About a teaspoon of water. You don't need too much more. Any brand of cornstarch will do. There's nothing fancy here or fussy. Don't go out and buy the best, you know, I'm trying to help you save money here. Okay, we'll just pour this right in there, like that. Okay, now, take some garlic powder. Make sure you open the right part, because if you don't, the other side comes out, you're going to have to redo the whole thing. And I just put a little bit in. That's enough. And then a little bit of white pepper for flavoring only, and to enhance the flavor. You wouldn't use, you don't put it in like you would something like this. Okay, you just put a little bit in. You don't need a lot. Sometimes less is better. And I'm going to put sugar in for you diabetics. I don't want you to go in shock, diabetic shock, so you don't have to put this in if you don't want to. And I'm sure I'll get comments on it, but that's okay. And my magic ingredient right now is soy sauce. So we'll just put a little bit of drops in. That's what gives it its color. Alright, now we're just going to mix this up. I would usually use a fork if I was using a bigger bowl, but these work really good. And right about now, because of chopsticks, if I could speak Chinese, I'd be singing you some type of Chinese song. Well, it takes time to do this. Sorry about that. It comes from my OCD nature, I guess, according to some of you viewers. You guys are really brutal on your comments. That's okay. Now, another thing you'll do, instead of putting the eggs, the yolk and the whites in at the same time, you can separate them and do them. I've done it. I don't particularly like it. To me, they're just too airy. If you know what I mean, airy, that's about the best way I could describe it. I'll make it maybe the next time. I don't have a name for these eggs, so I'd like to run a competition or a contest. You guys, gals, if you could think of a name for my eggs, I would appreciate it, and then I'll get that posted, and I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll send you a can of Spam. I know you can't wait, right? All right, we're done with this. We're going to set it off to the side. I'm going to move my camera now over to the pan. So bear with me a second. Alright, I tried to position the pan so my arm doesn't get in the way. It's going to probably be getting away anyway, so I'm going to turn the heat on. I'm not going to put any oil in it. And I want to get it nice and hot. And I guess the Chinese or Vietnamese or those from Thailand, they put their hand in it. There's a name, Wang Pao or Holy How or Holy Heat or whatever. There's a name for it that you feel the heat coming off, and I guess somehow they gauge this is the time to put the oil in. But you don't want to put the oil in a pan that's not real hot. While that's heating up, I got a little tip for you guys. If you know anybody that has shingles, you know how painful it is, especially if they have it around their shoulders. Tell them to take their first shirt that they put on their body, turn it inside out so that the seams are on the outside. That way the seams won't rub against the lesions and cause pain. Okay, back to our cooking demo and off the medical. I can see it's smoking a little bit, so I'm just going to put a few drops, not any more than that. Yeah. And I'm going to swish it around just to kind of coat it. Just about like that, and you're going to see the little streaks go down. When you see them a little bit more pronounced than that, then it's time to put the eggs in. This is a real light pan. I love this thing. The handle is nice and cool yet, and now I'm just going to take the eggs and dump them in. Oh, that sounds so cool. Now I'll take my spatula. And what you do is you pull the eggs up like this and you let it drain down. And you pull the eggs up and just kind of fold it on top of each other. If you put too much oil in, what's going to happen is it's going to get too runny and it's not going to turn out the way you want it to. Let's get these off. See, I'm moving the pan over the fire, and I'm keeping the fire off of this underneath here, if that makes sense. I don't want to cook them anymore. I just want to cook what's in the liquid part. And we're going to get real close here. I wanted to call these dirty eggs because they're not pretty, but just like my carbon steel pans, they're not beautiful, but I guess beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. Right now I'm going to turn the heat off and get these out of here. You can't see this because I gotta move these. I can't move the camera quick enough. Okay. I'll show you what they look like. They look just about like that. And now I'm going to take some of my, just to kind of make it pretty a little bit here. By the way, you could make this with butter if you want to. I've made it with both, but this is what it looks like. Let's see what it tastes like. Of course, I need a fork. I can't think of everything, guys. Let's see what that tastes like. It's really nice and moist. I'll split it open in a second and show you. You don't need salt and pepper. Oh, those are the best damn eggs you'll ever eat. Oh my God. I'm going to open this up. You'll see it's like custard inside. Scrambled eggs, you know, sometimes they give them to you in a restaurant. They're like lumps. This is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I'll tell you what. You make these eggs, you'll never go back to making eggs like you used to. But that's the story. And what I want you to do is leave me all your comments below. And I'll answer every one of them like you know I do. Good and bad. And if you like this recipe and you know people that are egg nuts like I am, send it over to them, share it with them. I guess I don't know how you do that on YouTube, but I know it can be done. So if you have any questions, comments, please leave them below. If you have any tips for me, and give me a name for these. You know, I don't want to call them Cantonese eggs. Cantonese eggs are made the same way, but the ingredients are a little different. And their eggs are pretty yellow and everything else, but I don't think they taste as good as these. So anyway, leave your comments. It was great having you back in my kitchen today. even though I was totally disorganized. And we'll see you in the next video. Oh, by the way, before I leave, the next video will be on Spam. I've got a special recipe I'm putting together, and I'm sure that it's going to even be better than bacon number 2. Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.